All right, we'll see if we can make this short and concise. I know that a lot of people are trying to eat some turkey and chicken and string beans and rice and all the other good stuff. So we'll see what happens here. But I wanted to read the story because I found it interesting and it relates to something I spoke about. I would say a short time ago, but it's been a couple of weeks, admittedly. So just me speculating for how long it's been. When Hassan Whiteside of the Miami Heat wired 2.75 million to Michael Avenatti in January 2017, the pro basketball player intended most of the money to go to his former girlfriend Alexis Gardner. Avenatti was Gardner's attorney, an actress and barista. She'd hired him just a few weeks before to negotiate a settlement of a potential lawsuit against Whiteside. It's unclear what would have alleged. Avenatti quickly stuck a $3 million deal, and the 2.75 million was Whiteside's first payment. Avenatti's prosecutor Avenatti, prosecutors say, was entitled to take just over 1 million in legal fees, leaving the rest for Gardner. Instead, they allege Avenatti hid Whiteside's payment from her and immediately took 2.5 million to buy a share of a private jet. The full story of Avenatti's alleged embezzlement from Gardner came in light in bank records, came to light in bank records. I'm sorry, my reading here is just terrible. I understand if all six of you want to just leave right now, I don't blame you. I'm not doing a good job. My grammatical skills are terrible. The full story of Avenatti's alleged embezzlement from Gardner came to light in bank records and in the April 10th indictment of the Los Angeles lawyer by a federal grand jury in Santa Ana. The 36-count indictment, which spans an array of alleged financial crimes, identified Whiteside as individual one and Gardner as client two. We entered into a mutually agreed upon settlement more than 2 years ago following the end of our relationship, a settlement that reflected Alex's investment of time and support over a number of years as Hassan pursued a career in the NBA. Whiteside and Gardner told the Los Angeles Times in a statement released by his agent. It is unfortunate that something was meant to be kept private between us is now being publicly reported. We have both moved on amicably, and wish nothing but the best for each other. Gardner is one of 5 clients whose money prosecutors say Avenatti stole. One of the others, Jeffrey Ernest Johnson, was a mentally ill paraplegic man on disability who won a $4 million settlement but received just 124,000 from Avenatti. So apparently he won $4 million and he didn't even get a tenth of that. Jesus Christ. The grand jury alleges that Avenatti embezzled about 4.4 million from another client, Michelle Pond. Everybody's getting 4 million. Wow. A makeup artist with 8.8 million YouTube followers. They should say subscribers, but apparently that's not something people know how to write anymore. Avenatti is also charged with dodging taxes, bank fraud, perjury, and bankruptcy fraud. Holy hell. In a separate federal case in New York, he is accused of extortion and conspiracy in his alleged shakedown of Nike, the sportswear giant. If convicted on all charges on both coasts, he faces a maximum penalty of 382 years in prison. Avenatti denies wrongdoing. No money. See, this is why I don't get people. Like, I've never seen actual people say this. So in this statement, he says, no monies were ever embezzled from anyone, and I look forward to all of the relevant documents and facts being presented at trial, he said Sunday by email. I've never heard anyone say monies. Like, I hear money, he stole money, not monies, MONIES. But that's a minor thing in comparison to everything else. Citing his record of big verdicts and settlements, he said the clients complaining are a very small fraction of the thousands of clients I have served over my nearly 20-year career. On Twitter, Avenatti said he was looking forward to public disclosure of the reason Whiteside paid the settlement and the inquiry by the NBA and its commissioner. Though through his agent, Whiteside declined to comment. Whiteside's former girlfriend, Gardner, 27, graduated in 2013 from Marshall University in West Virginia, where he played basketball in 2009 and 2010. Her Facebook page includes several posts by Whiteside in 2014. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Stuff relating to those two. So isn't it ironic? And I guess the point I was trying to make with this story, and I appreciate Broad Vulture for showing up. Practice on your reading confidence, then maybe the words will let you read them. Yeah, they'll just open themselves up to me. But it was about maybe Scylla Splendora, who left one comment and then ran out of here really quickly. It was about maybe 2, 3, possibly late last year that there was speculation of Avenatti running for president, which I thought was a stupid idea from the second that it was, brought to the public. And I shared a picture of the article where he was basically saying I could challenge Trump in 2 years. Um, and I was going to share it on the, get on not Google PowerPoint, Google Hangout, and share it on there. But I decided not to do that because I don't want to put people's usernames on here. But it got over, I think, 100 likes. It was one of my most successful Instagram posts ever, and I basically said that it was stupid in the comment I wrote along with the picture of the news headline. But there are people who were saying, "Oh, I would vote for him over Trump in a heartbeat," blah 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 blah. And I realized that it wasn't so much that they thought he had good positions or anything, because we don't know what his positions are on pretty much anything at all, other than just being anti-Trump. We've had a lot of anti-Trump people still do, things that are not exactly that far removed from Trump himself. But I found it funny that this was part of a pattern where people who, because this isn't just the only story we've had about him doing something crooked or weird or genuinely considered bad. I think most people would agree that when you steal millions of dollars from your clients as a lawyer, that's a shady practice. But this wasn't the first time I've seen someone who wasn't really that good of a person get turned into some kind of wonderful, nice, spectacular man because of their association with doing something that is counterintuitive to Trump. Meaning that basically when you go on places like Twitter or any of these other social media websites, a lot of people will take a person or people that they themselves have never spoken about positively in the past, have never shown themselves to actually know anything about, and just make them out to be these good guys and these heroes because they're saying or doing something that is against what they consider to be a bigger enemy in their own little, way of thinking. So, for example, with the FBI director, Mueller, the one that was doing the investigation, I was watching Jimmy Dore's channel, the former TYT commentator, and he was playing a clip of Mueller from, I believe, 2001, 2002, when he was FBI director, during the early 2000s. And he was basically participating in lying us into Iraq, this war that killed thousands of people. And I was watching that clip and I was saying to myself, wow, I've never seen this. They must have dug for this or something. But, you can go on C-SPAN and look that stuff up anytime you want. It's just people don't use C-SPAN because they don't like to. A lot of them are politically active, for lack of a more wanting term, which is just don't care at all what's going on with their, the public policy of their own country. But as I was sitting there and I was watching, so I was saying to myself, wait a second. This all goes in line with what I've always thought about these people, which is that when you look at agencies like the FBI, with the way it did Martin Luther King and it did the Black Panthers, this agency that historically was involved with oppressing movements that were designed to shape up social change, and the fact that now they're being represented as these wonderful institutions that are fighting back against the person who's writing this stuff or whatever, or rather who are fighting back against Trump. It all makes sense that they would take something, or a group of people who throughout history, again, were never good guys, never did anything that was really wonderful at all, and then just completely turn them into some kind of saviors. And I guess what I'm saying is that Avenatti followed that same practice where, because he represented, let's call her what she is, a hoe who cheated, or at least alleged herself to have been involved with Trump in a sexual manner, and they thought could get him and whatnot. Literally, she became this hero, this person that people wanted to hear from, what she was saying and talk to and whatnot. And for what? Let me see what this is. Yeah, bro, this is getting a little weird over here. Enough with the paragraphs. We don't need any of those. But going back to what I was saying, so this is the same thing with the CIA, this agency that was involved with overthrowing governments in foreign countries. Is heralded as this good group, as it's trying to literally do the exact same thing under Trump, the person that we're supposed to think is so horrible and evil. But then this group now gets its own screwed up past wiped away and cleaned and not talked about at all. That's why on Fox a couple of days ago they were clowning when they were just reporting on Avenatti's continued legal issues, how stupid the Democrats were, and this is particularly both party officials and people that post stuff online, for even entertaining the thought that some random lawyer who only became famous because he represented a hoe was someone they thought of as a serious presidential candidate or someone that, could actually run and get some votes. That anybody could entertain the idea of voting for that person. And they were absolutely right. This is why I said let me see this. Okay, I just don't know what you were. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing either. It's weird, man. Like I said, the comment section, a lot of this stuff gets. I know you like it because you get to interact and just sort of speak, but usually I there's always someone that comes in there and does something strange. It's all connected in that way. I keep getting all these little notifications. But look, what I was the bigger part of this story to take away from is that when you have people who, I just want you to realize that they always say that Trump is doing all this horrible stuff, but one of the things that his appearance has done is take these individuals who, as I said earlier, were not traditionally seen as good people or someone to look up to and actually cherish or support, and make them out to be these heroes just because they do something that's opposed to him. Any of you in this chat could go out and stab somebody tomorrow and then come out a week from now and say, I oppose the Trump presidency. And you would have idiots on social media going, yeah, he knows what's right about our government. He knows we need to get rid of this disgrace. Yeah, he's a good guy. It's like, he just stabbed somebody. He tried to do something evil. It's the same with the Avenatti stuff. This guy is someone who at no point should have ever festered in anyone's head as being someone you wanted to run for office, and should have just been seen as the ho's lawyer, which is what he was. But instead, because we have this weird culture that likes to take, again, people and institutions that are against Trump and turn them into heroes, he got propped up. And I love that it's blowing up in the face of people who support. I never did, so I feel no empathy. But I love that it's blowing up in their face, that we're getting more and more stuff to show he was a piece of slime. And I just wish they would do the exact same thing with these other people and institutions. I want to see some exposés from the CIA, and they're already exposing themselves with their former director Pompeo as the Secretary of State, trying to overthrow the government in Venezuela. But I want to see more of their past get just put out in the limelight and brought up. And it's sad because doing so wouldn't have the same kind of tabloid effect that a lot of these, just when you have individuals like, oh, did you know this person cheated on their wife 10 years ago? It's not going to make people go, wow, we need to get around this, as something like that would. Okay, I don't know, who do you want to go away? Who is they? The CIA, the FBI? What? I'm not too sure. Yeah, the evidence is what helps, but we can't know someone's true intentions until then. Well, that's kind of my thing, that I'm talking more about. Like, it's this story by itself isn't the issue. It's the fact that a person who has all these charges against them was able to become someone that people liked as a presidential candidate, just because they were doing something that was against the person who's already there that they don't like. Basically, it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And like a lot of these online people who have no actual ideology, they just know they hate Trump, are taking all of these people who are not good and sticking them up as individuals to look up to or to like, just because they say something nasty about him. Okay, I don't know who the bad man is. You're gonna have to elaborate. I'm surprised Raw Vulture actually showed up. I was getting a little worried. I thought once he became the admin, this was like his high-ranking achievement. That was the end of the road for him. It's like, yeah, I can retire now. I can hang up my hat. Let's see, like the guy did. Okay, like if the guy did stab someone, we need reasons for why they committed it, even if violence is bad. Well, here's my thing, right? I can sort of understand that and I guess my own analogy then falls apart. Where I was trying to say that you have things that people generally uh, see as bad, right? Like, okay, you stab someone in self-defense, you get away with that for the most part because people are going to be more sympathetic to that. I'm talking about the fact that you have a person who no one knew the positions of on any issues, but because they were a lawyer that was representing someone who was against Trump, they became liked by a bunch of Trump haters, whether they're Democrats, whatever the hell, and social media users, to where they started getting propped up. And so now when they get arrested and they have all these charges coming against them, these people are jumping ship because they're slowly realizing, oh my God, I only like this person because they didn't, I thought they weren't him. And then, it turns out they're still horrible. And that should be the point, that you don't, when you see people who come out of nowhere and aren't going after Trump on a policy based perspective, think twice if you're, someone who doesn't like him, is what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. Where did Splendor go? I've been waiting for him. See, I see what you're saying. It's because he shared the "I hate Trump," which made people condone his. Exactly, but also it made it to where they stopped thinking about actually. Okay, it's one thing to say I like this person because they're trying to hold this other person accountable in this manner, right? Like, oh, I like this lawyer because they have integrity. It stopped being that. It started being, no, I want this person to run for office because they're opposing the person who's currently in office, so therefore they must be the reverse of that person. That's why when I brought up that I had that Instagram post that had all those people liking and talking about, I vote for him over Trump in a heartbeat. It's not, when you see that and you know that uh, Avenatti never put out most of his positions on issues. That's how you know it's not about that person themselves as much as it is just being perceived as not being the other person. Just not got anything to add. It's scum. All right, well, Splendor's over here agreeing with me. We're tipping our hats to each other. Well, again, I didn't want to have a misleading title. That's why I said liberal icon, because literally this is someone I watched for months get propped up for no reason. And that's why I said before, I really do hate the era of the last 2 years because, like, just completely remove stuff Trump himself has done, right? All the stuff around him is terrible. Like, the people who don't like him have gotten so desperate that they'll take these people that, again, we don't know anything about on any issues, and because they say something negative about him or they're doing something that's not in his favor, oh, that's when we need to back and be behind and support. Look at what they're doing to Assange. They were happy he got arrested because they, in their like stupid heads, think, oh yeah, if he didn't participate in that last election cycle, Trump would have lost. It's not about the freedom of the press, nothing, just no civil liberties whatsoever. All about being sore losers and crybabies over a stupid election. So I said the U.S. is going to hell, but again, this is why this era sucks. So people who don't like him have that kind of mentality, and then people who like him so much that they'll turn off their brains from thinking about anything rational or just in a rational manner. As I said before, if you go on Twitter right now and say, I'm no Trump fan, but I like that he did this, you'll get his supporters to thumb your stuff up. But the second you say something about what you don't like, no matter what way you say it, here they come. The correct term is always crybabies. Yeah. I mean, remember, a lot of them, the only time you ever see them like get together and start not being pissed at him is when he like wants to start some war. Like, You won't see them get mad about invading Venezuela or Iran or North Korea. None of that. Not one bit. It's A-okay. Cry baby. Cry bull. Wait, you said cry bullies. Oh, I think you said cry babies. That's what. Remember the anniversary of Crybaby Day, the day after the election, where you had people tearing up that Hillary lost. Look, I don't care how much I like Bernie or Rokan or any of these other people. You will never see me cry over the over any of these people losing office, because they can run for it in 2 to 4 years, or 2 to 6 years rather, depending on if it's for the House, president, or senator, and then just try again for the most part. Who is this kid? I think he is, but again, he's on his last leg, so it's all good. No, that's why when Splendora said "cry bullies," I just kept thinking about, because that's actually what a lot of Hillary supporters are. Like a lot of just these standard regular Democrats that don't really, like, they're the kind of people who, if you even today, right, still haven't caught on to the fact that Obama was, destruct basically a great destroyer for the rest of the world, because they don't care about other people getting bombed and murdered as long as they don't live in the U.S. I mean, like we keep hearing about how horrible 9/11 was and the 2,000 people that got killed. No one's trying to downplay that. But when you bring up that 85,000 have died in Yemen over the last 4 years under both Obama and Trump, you won't see any of these people disavow him, say, hey, I hated that part of his tenure. And I don't get how you can be an objective supporter of someone, whether they're president or congressman, and not say, yeah, I don't like that vote. Yeah, I don't like that thing. Just, it makes no sense to me. But that's how they've trained themselves to be, where anything that you don't agree with, automatically they have to support it, because if they don't, they can't, lick the behind of whoever they call themselves backing. Well, yeah, but Brawl Vulture, he's bringing up something that is not relevant to the stream. And I think after 20 plus minutes, you should be able to figure out what the topic is. Just a hunch. I don't know. That's just my hypothesis. Feel free to disagree with me. I mean, the only reason I haven't just been like, all right, well, time to get yanked, is because he's not really saying anything insulting or demeaning. So it is what it is. That's usually the instant kick. By the way, I do any of you want a video on the since he keeps wanting to bring up the Dragon Ball stuff? Do any of you want a video on the situation with Mignogna and the lawsuit, the one he dropped like 2 days ago against those two voice actors and Toy? Come on here and do that. A lot of people would. That's why I'm glad you finally started responding to what I was saying. I almost felt like it was spam. Like, let's write something that has nothing to do with what's being talked about, and then that actually has happened where not here, but on some other person's stream, where people come in the chat like, hey guys, if you like content like this, make sure to go to my channel. And then he got rid of the comments. It's like, you already knew you already know he has like 8 mods. Why would you even post that? I'm surprised people still vote, even though it was written that Freemasons took over and have status of madmen to the White House. Oh yeah. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I think Dirk, who's not here, would hate, where that this idea that like the presidency is just a figurehead, and then like there's all these people who are doing all this stuff in secret. I'm like, well hell, why do people spend billions of dollars trying to win that office? Like, like, who the hell is going to burn all that paper each 4 years to keep that office if it's just to have some douchebag that has no powers picture on there? Why did they change the laws to where corporations could pay out millions of dollars to candidates if that office doesn't matter, or any of these offices for that matter? Like, I don't get it. Someone please explain that to me. I'm not quite sure why that how those two things align. I'm very confused. Someone needs to notify me. A stat. Yeah, man, I really do have frown upon that kind of this isn't a shot at David, but I just really hate it when we have those kind of discussions. It's like, well then damn, why are we even discussing any of this? It doesn't matter, right? Whoever gets in is gonna do the same thing, right? Nothing you can do about it, right? All of us could stay at home and not vote, and it would still be the same result either way. I mean, like that stuff just, oh my god. Again, not here to insult David, but just saying to trigger to let Trump. Uh, I think if you might not have been here for this Splendor, but I actually did have a user who kept leaving that in the thing. I was like, sir, it's just gonna get yanked. Why are you? I didn't even ask him. I just kept getting rid of it. I'm almost tempted to get rid of that. Not even because I mean, like, yes, I voted Anglo. I could kind of tolerate the Ivanka one because that would be funny, but I'll leave this up just because, like I said, I don't even care about these presidential elections anymore because Congress is still going to be a screwed up, corrupt piece of crap that no one pays attention to. So it's a-okay. Avenatti's going to have more stories. You know how screwed up this is? This old washed up criminal lawyer is going to have more stories about him this year than like 99% of the Congress members, unless they're caught up in a sex scandal, some corruption case, which is a joke at this point because, again, they're all able to take hundreds of thousands of dollars from any corporation, even though a small chunk choose not to, and they actually aren't corrupt, but you get my point. So it just seems like it's pointless to even get upset about that, like what Splendora wrote, even if I don't want that to happen, which is crazy as hell. But like I said, I want to do a because I always bring up that one thing with the FBI in the '60s with the Black Panthers and Martin Luther King, but I want to try, and this is why I hate that most of these offices aren't covered that well. The people that are in the position of power, just go decade by decade. Like, what role did the FBI have in the war on drugs? What role they have in any of these different affairs we've had throughout history? Because my argument has always been, if you look at these agencies pre 2017, pre the supposed Trump era, you're going to have a smaller and smaller opinion of them because they're going to show themselves for what they were and what they still are. They're just being propped up by these people that don't like Trump, unfortunately, just like Avenatti. So it'll be an interesting tale if I can get that stuff out there. What is this? Sex scandals usually. I mean, like, look at that governor of Virginia, whose name is actually, wow, I can't think of it right now. You probably, Northam, there we go. So he gets into this big scandal over this stupid picture, and he's 2 months later still in office, and now his lieutenant governor is accused of some sexual crap. And they did a poll that showed that more people wanted him to stay as governor than wanted his lieutenant governor to stay in office. So they want more. They want the person who, without a shadow of a doubt, had that picture in his yearbook to stay in there more than the person who is being accused of something that, again, no proof, word of mouth. Like I said, I live in the Twilight Zone. My mind was blown away. Like, Jesus Christ, you guys are insane. But notice how after that major scandal broke out back in February, I believe, 2 months ago, you don't hear a single word about it now. I haven't heard a single word about that. You would almost think he was out of office, but he's not. And I sure as hell didn't hear any words about what he's actually doing as governor, like what his positions are and whatnot. Let's see. Will even you see all this is a joke and it's way too much drama with nothing being solved. And once again, they all swear on that Bible, even in court. So they all follow the same thing. Yeah, David, they're all part of the same doctrine. And that should tell you, and this is why I said before, I identify as a disaffected Catholic who, still believes there's a God, but as far as like, the people who supposedly are supposed to believe it, I think they're full of crap. I think most of them just want to believe in a higher force and then not actually honor it by fulfilling the Ten Commandments. Sure, they'll go to church sometimes and they might do a prayer, but that doesn't, that still is not enough in um, accordance with, their own stuff they do outside of the, just outside of the church, having children out of wedlock that they know they can't take care of. We can go down the list. I don't want to sound like Sky Clank. let him tell it. We'll be here all day discussing that. Broad says, I feel like religion is a human construct as I learn more about history. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, it is what it is. But that's kind of why it's incredible that people actually have convinced themselves that this stuff is serious, So it's really quite funny. What's the point of being a Catholic or Christian or any of them? Well, I guess I was raised into this religion, and I for the life of me can't convince myself that there's not a higher force. So it's more of a thing where I just sort of accept this is how I feel, and just go by it. A lot of times that's kind of the problem with faith, where I always give scientists the credit of saying that you guys are able to sort of just prove stuff in ways that you can, but I can't just go and say, oh yeah, we were all just came out of clay and sort of suddenly appeared. The hell is this? What is this? Can I kiss you until your lips are brown? I hope I'm not reading what I think I just read. That's what he said. Whoever that was that got yanked. I'm a little nervous now. I mean, I didn't put on any kind of cologne today or any makeup or get my nails done. And he's turned on by my appearance. I'm flattered. That's crazy. I mean, why would you even say that? That's insane. I'm scared now. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow with like a apple in my mouth and my arms tied like this. That's what he wrote. I looked right at it. Like I'm wow. It does make sense because, like I said, whenever you do those relationship videos, you do have guys that come on there and start talking about. And remember, you're supposed to be straight men, right? They'll start talking about how another man looks. So it does make sense that they would actually like think to say that, like they would that's in line with the position of, okay, well, I'm on your video, which is about a man wanting to get with women, and I'm saying that I supposedly am into the topic, which is why I'm going to talk more about how you look than what you actually say. You probably going there after this. I mean, when you're hidden, you're hidden. So good luck with that. That made me nervous. I was like, what the hell is that? And again, I didn't try to look good for him or anything. I didn't put on no cologne, um, any kind of spray. Talk with a more sensual tone. None of that. And he still came and was like, "Let me kiss your lips." I was like, what the hell? my god, man! You know what? Uh, People are really horny. He's having a lonely Easter. He had to come on here and flirt for a little bit. I was like, I guess I'm flattered. I don't know. It's like, sir, I don't exactly. But I don't spin in that direction. But it's I guess it's appreciated to some extent. I'm not sure what amount, but wow. Hey, imagine you went in the comment section and you post like a picture of some flowers, and then like it has like it's on what's one of those photo websites like Photo Bucket or something, and then it says like "Will you marry me" next to him, and then I'm just like so bewildered. They ran out of food coloring to his eggs. Want any color except white. I'm nervous now. I don't want to. I don't want him gawking at me. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. This man's really trying to get with me. Sir, it's not you, it's me. Oh man, the Fanoics are out today. Got a telescope like, oh yeah, from Powerpuff Girls. I remember that show. It's always men that do these things. How are women at? Some weird dudes out there. I mean, like it was like a wide ranging thing. First, he said, I'm the, what do you call it? Raid your body," and then the thing about the lips. So what the hell's wrong with you? But you're right. Where are the women at? Like, yeah, it's always the guy. You know what? There was actually a person I spoke with about maybe 2 weeks ago, and they were saying that a lot of these men, even if like regardless of what gender they're into, so whether they're heterosexual, homosexual, will go on and like try to be aggressive with their sexuality. So like I guess that wasn't because like who would type that in someone's chat room? You've never seen them before, never spoke to them before, but I'm gonna raid your body. It's like I guess thanks, I suppose. And we if we say anything that is negative, we get called homophobic. So it is what it is. Because you know how it works now, where if someone's part of a group and they do something nasty, or they say something that's really like out of character and sort of weird, and then you say, "Hey, I have a problem with what was said here, but not the group itself," then you still get the flack for it. He's a true alpha, asserting his dominance. I was like, yeah, he's trying to bend me. He's trying to molest me with his eyes. You know what? Since he wants it so badly, here, now you get my arm. Let's do some fan service. There you go. He's gonna like replay that for 3 times back and forth and just whack off. It's like, oh my god, I got what I wanted. He found my secret wish list for Christmas. Or maybe he thinks now it's gonna come twice. This was the the quarter, a third of the way through the year prequel to what he thinks is going to be his real gift in December of me accepting his marriage proposal. I got news for you, buddy. No, it's not happening. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, I'll certainly be looking back, making sure I sleep with one eye open now that I know that my one of the people on the channel wants to molest me. So I guess that's my Easter present from him. My not so secret admirer. Hey, we should retitle the stream that like it'll be Avenatti the scammer and watch me get sexually harassed or something. Notice how when this is called notice how when this is so called alpha males get mad, they say like wow. Hey, if I send an article, can we discuss it? Yeah, send me the article. Let me just make sure my arm is in view so this person can keep on getting all wet and beaten off and whatnot. Let's give him some more fan service. This is a time of giving. Imagine for like Thanksgiving, he like makes another account and comes in here and is like, I want you on my plate. Holy hell. Rocco's Modern Life. Yeah, more like what's his username? I'm not gonna say it. Like this guy's um, Modern Horny Session. That'll be an appropriate title. So I'm saying that's why the chat sucks because like someone does something weird and it just consumes the whole thing. Oh yeah, I'll well that's my thing. I shouldn't have said yes, bro, Vulture. I was trying to get out of here. Now that I feel so violated. How about instead we I discuss it in a like do you want it now or can I do this later on, during the week? That's maybe tomorrow. What's the deal? All right, thank God. I wasn't trying to stay here and keep getting hit on by whoever that was. Well, guys, now you've seen that I have my I suppose male fans that take it a little too far and want to do all kind of violating things to me. But he got some of what he wanted, some fan service. Got to see my arms a little bit. Um, yeah, I got. What was the name of that one magazine where it's like the reverse gender Playgirl or whatever? Like he wants me to pose in that now. Have a be on the centerfold. Oh my god, dude, it's a sad day when people get horny on YouTube. It's like what about this setup makes you feel like is he fantasizing about himself in my lap? I don't understand. It's up to you if you want to join it. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I would rather not. Hey, I can't wait to do my stream tomorrow. I feel so violated. Why would you do that to me? All right. So I'm getting out of here. Thank you for watching. And if, in his case, try not to undress me with your eyes. I know that there's a small segment of people that apparently find me irresistible, and he's one of them. It's just I don't get it, man. What's the deal with churches and Christians being attacked lately? Religious intolerance, maybe. That's like I said. You when you don't go to a lot of these locations, you end up not having to find yourself susceptible to those kind of treatments. So, like when people of a certain religious group hang out together, they're more likely to get attacked than if they were to just go home and congregate in their own little place or whatnot. I just think, like I've said before, the more people you have somewhere, the more dangerous it is. The chances of a nut increase. Damn, if he's really pulling this kind of stuff, he should at least become a patron. Yeah, if hey, we're gonna have a special horny patron session where it's like he's gonna pay me like $10 to have me like not wear my jacket anymore, and then like if he gives me 100, I'll roll my pants up all the way. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that was a nice comment. Dual, if I'm saying your name correctly with the two L's. Oh no, I don't intend to, but like I said, people that's why when we did the stream yesterday, it was literally me saying you take off the headphones, yeah. And then 300 I take off the glasses. But I was saying in reference to what David was saying that literally that's kind of what the problem with YouTube is. When I come on here, I come to speak about a particular topic, and then we get these individuals that like say weird stuff. And like I said, I have a sort of unique thing with this channel where basically, as someone who doesn't get that many people to come in there, because you think the less people that are there, the less chances of like weird individuals showing up. Still ends up happening. We had the one guy who was, all obsessed with whatever shirt I had on. We had this one who was talking about invading my body and raiding it and kissing me until my lips changed colors. And I guess I'm flattered by all this physical attention, and I guess some of these people do find me attractive, but I'm just not into you. You guys have to start using real pictures and, showing your face too. For me to, possibly reciprocate, and you have to have a vagina. That's kind of the way this works. So his lustful comments are gone forever, just like my patients. Have a good day and a good Easter.